America, and welcome to Invent America, because America invents.
This episode of Invent America TV is brought to you by America's Inventor Lady and Home Talk USA. Home Talk is a proud member of the King's Broadcasting Network and has been bringing to you the best of America's home-based product innovation since 1998. This segment of Invent America TV is brought to you by the law offices of R.P. Baraska. RPB law offices have been bringing corporate-level legal expertise to the independent inventor community for more than 20 years. For all your inventing legal needs, trust rpblawoffices.com.
Hey, welcome, America. That's right. We want to welcome all of you that's joining us from Home Talk USA, switching over to the Invent America show here on Invent America Radio. I'm your co-host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. And now I'd like to welcome the co-host of the show, the famous radio broadcaster herself, entering her fourth year. I'm going to start putting that. Entering her fourth year with me on the radio, co-host of the Invent America show, right here on Invent America Radio, the Invent Lady herself, Rita Crompton. Rita! How you doing?
Hello there, and Happy New Year. It is so wonderful to be here with everyone and kick this year off right.
Well, I'll tell you, we got some exciting topics to discuss. You got some exciting guests. You have some entrepreneurs. You have some developers, some manufacturers, some inventors, young inventors, old inventors, inventors that's just got into the market, and inventors that's been in the market. So again, it's all about education and information. So I know you wanted to talk about what you say, showing off. What you mean by that? Showing off. Am I showing off? I mean, that's what you think of me, Rita?
Well, you've got to show your product. So, when we get to a certain point, Terry, my first guest, she's gone through those early stages. She showed lots of people her prototypes, and you learn a lot when you're able to show off in the different stages. And that's why when I'll ask somebody, it's like, well, how many prototypes do you have? It's like, I've got a museum full, and my wife wants me to, move everything to the garage. So, it's really funny to watch people show off. How do they learn the pitch? Well, when a consumer is looking at a product, they don't want to know your life story. They want to know why your product is cool. And the same thing with the buyers. If they want to know more, they will ask the questions later. But, you got that 10 seconds to get their attention and say, this is why it's good. So when we go to a professional trade show, part of the training that we do is, how do you show off? What's relevant in the story in those early seconds? Because literally our attention span has gone from basically 5 minutes down to 5 seconds. So you better talk fast and, be able to show something. And when they go, wow, that's really cool, I want one of those, now you got them.
Well, and I want to talk about something about showing off, showing your product off. And one of those, one of the most effective tools to do that is what we already do. Now, you heard in the first hour, I had mentioning that we're going to be on the road, okay? We're taking our show on the road in 2026. Listen to the shows that we're going to be broadcasting from. The big International Building Show in Orlando, IBS, sponsored by the Home Builders Association, 4,300 exhibitors. The Kitchen and Bath Show, also in Orlando, that has to do with kitchen and bath. The show I do, the National Hardware Show, which is actually the first show that I did, the remodeling show in Chicago. And then you hooked up with this ASD Market Week in Las Vegas. So I think the best way to get your product exposed is to do what you do and do it from the trade shows where these potential clients can actually touch, feel, and hold. Do you want to talk to 300 potential clients, or do you want to talk to one?
Exactly. And that's what we look at. When you go and you're talking to a buyer, they're representing thousands of consumers, and they know price points. They know what kind of packaging there should be. A lot of times they'll have better ideas, or at least, when you're in a provisional patent stage, you can go back to your designer and say, can you make these changes for me? Because we had some really good feedback. And, when the eye contact is so important when somebody's looking at something, you can tell right away whether or not they're understanding your message and how excited they are about the message. And then you learn when they say, oh, no, that price point isn't going to work. It's like, what? Now you know to go back and do some work on it. And you can meet more people in 3 days at a professional show than you can in 6 months online and get better feedback. And when somebody tells me they spent $20,000 on market research because they went out and interviewed, 5,000 consumers as opposed to, buyers at a show in 3 days, and it costs you, $3,500 to go to a show, and you talk to buyers that represented 50,000.
Yeah. And that's, yeah. And
it makes such a difference.
Yeah, it really does. And all it takes is one buyer to come aboard and say, put me in for this order.
Yeah.
Can you handle this? Next question is, can you handle that order?
I know, right? We had a lady, she had 2 prototypes to her name, and that was it. And there were businesses that said, we don't want a case. We want a pallet. We how fast can we get to these? And she's like, I don't know. But it was really interesting because she started out the show. I have no idea what to say. I have no idea what to do. I said, stand here just like this and answer these questions. And she goes, oh, I can do that. So, we train people on how to do things, what to say, how to walk the floor, what to look for. And literally, they can get more information in 3 days at a professional trade show, going with us than, going by themselves, going to some of those goofy shows that we see. And the cool thing about ASD is that they are big on sell, and sell some more. And so the last couple of years, anybody who had inventory for sale, they sold it all. And a lot of those professional shows, they don't want sales on the floor. They don't like that. Yep. And ASD they've got the buyers who are there to place wholesale orders, and they've got the consumers who are there to buy. I'll take one. Yep. And we had folks last year that it's like, I'm out. I've sold everything I've got. It was so cool.
Now let's talk about the show coming up, the guests. So what my audience and your audience can expect. I know we have Terry LaFranchi. What does Terry do? A product again.
Terry's got a cool new cap. All right. I'm going to let her tell the story. And she's got some basic intellectual property on it. She's getting ready to file more detailed intellectual property on it. So she'll be going to the show, and she'll have a dozen prototypes showing it, different versions of it, different sizes. And then we've got Sam on. Sam's story is so much fun because it was when he was in college and he ordered a pizza and things didn't go very well. So he invented a product that makes it go better. And then Carol Sprunk is my industry expert, and she's going to talk about the story. How do you craft the story for, different industries, different products? Is it a consumer gadget or a professional gadget? So all those stories have got little variances. And then we want to be able to tell our listeners where they can go to buy Sam's product, because it is on the marketplace.
Yeah. And I want to mention that also, because sometimes the products and technology we talk about is the technologies of the future might not be on the market right now. That's the point. Or right. So we're going to let our audience know that, hey, go out and check it out. Go ask the questions. But it's that old saying, you can have a product. Let me back it up a minute. You can have a product. And I know when we talk to some inventors, they say, oh, I'm excited because I got into this box store. Well, you got into the box store, you got into their computer system. But getting shelf space is a whole different ballgame.
Right.
It's separate from getting into into their computer, which is good. But if they don't know that you're in the computer, or you don't do no advertising and marketing to let them know that you're in that box store computer, it really don't matter, because in that computer system might be 4, 5, 6 million, products. You understand, Rita?
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Just because you're in the system doesn't mean that you're selling, because even the people there, how often when you need an answer at a big box store, that you got to go look for the salesperson and they have no idea what's on the shelf.
Yeah.
So you've still got to be able to tell the story, and you've got to be able to get it out there. And, you get right to the point on what problem did you solve?
Yep.
How did you solve it? And how much is it? That's what they want to know. And so, you got to answer the questions and be able to express yourself. And sometimes that's a learning curve.
All right. We're going to take a short break right here on the Invent America radio program. I'm your co-host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, with the inventor lady herself, Rita Crompton. We got Terry in the blue room. We got Carol in the blue room. Guys, y'all just hold on. We're going to get you on the show right here. So please check out our website at hometalkusa.com. All our guests, all our topics, all our sponsors, all the information that has to do with all of our shows right here on the King's Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned now, you hear?
This segment of Invent America TV is brought to you by SearchQuest Patent Search. SearchQuest provides for a comprehensive patent search that searches the entire world and not just the U.S. Patent Office. Make sure that before you spend those big bucks having a patent written, you've done your due diligence by getting a comprehensive patent search. Use SearchQuestPatents.com for all your patent search needs. They scour the world for you.
Welcome back to the Invent America show, Invent America Radio, with my co-host, the inventor lady herself, Rita Crompton. Don't forget, at the top of the third hour, the Made in America show, we're going to be talking about Made in America products and technology. So we ask all of you just to stay with us on all our radio networks. Rita, I'm excited to hear about Terry's company and her road to success, and maybe her future road to get them products to market. So, Rita, but you have a sponsor, right? So let's mention our sponsor.
I do. Our sponsor for this segment is Noah McNeely with Product Quick Start. He's done wonderful prototypes for our inventors that we have taken to the show. And I've had some inventors think that, he really walks on water. So if you're out there, anybody that's got a product that needs to have a prototype done, Noah McNeely with Product Quick Start is the man. So my guest for this segment is Terry LaFranchi. And Terry, thank you so much for being with us today. We are grateful to have you. So, Terry,
I'm happy to be here.
Terry, tell us a little bit about the product that you've invented, and just a couple of the trials and tribulations that you've gone through to get where you are now.
Okay, I have put a new cap together, and it's focused this time on football. So I just changed the bill of the hat, and I think I'm so excited because I think deep in my heart, it's just meant to just bring joy. That's it. Just a good time all the way around. And it's been pretty smooth. Rita, I appreciate you. You've helped me every step of this way. I did get some no's in the beginning, or I can't do this. Kind of a little surprising, but definitely not a give up. And I knew that story before. So I was able to connect with someone in Montana, Whitefish, a very talented tailor. And so he has put my prototypes together and is working on a few more. And I'm just hoping this all takes off like a good thing.
Well, you bring up a really good point, and that is that different prototypers have different specialties. And I think a lot of inventors is like, well, we do prototypes. Well, exactly what kind of prototypes do you do, Mr. Prototyper? Is it, rapid prototyping or working with textiles? You needed somebody specifically who could work with leather, and that's not somebody who puts together tooling or works with a mold.
No, he's a very talented man who actually is so happy himself. So I like how he's kind of dug in and played. He's moved a few things around for me, made some of my prototypes that literally have two options on one prototype. So I feel like, I don't know, the avenue is going to be good and simple. I'm not someone who has 300 pieces to manufacture in a unit, and mine will be a little easier than some others, hopefully.
So what is your first opportunity then for showing off?
ASD.
Yeah, there you go, girl. Well, it's a wonderful way that you can show all your prototypes.
Yes. And in listening to, as you just spoke, like instead of someone like me trying to go across the web to connect with people, I'm so grateful to go to one building and have the experience of vendors and merchants and all of the above together. I think it'll work out great.
It does make a difference. It will help you learn what are then the social media options you should look at, because social media is a monster. Different platforms have got different specialties. They've got different requirements. They've got different expenses. So if you say, oh, I'm going to do social media advertising, where, what, and when? And, there's high points on one platform. There's high points on a different platform. Well, they're not the same. So if you figure, well, I'm going to do it all on Wednesday morning, guess what? It doesn't all work on Wednesday morning. So, and just, how do you repost something so that you get a bigger bang for your buck? It is amazing how complicated. You thought it was expensive to get a TV commercial? Holy cow. Social media is crazy.
No, well, I'm learning that too.
More than you wanted to know. We've, been there, done that, and figured it out. But it is complicated. And so when you take your product and you show it off at ASD Market Week, and you get a lot of excitement, well, then it makes then the social media make more sense to go out there and start doing it. But at that point, then you've got to have some inventory, right?
Right. Right.
So,
the next step.
So what are you looking for in your next steps? I mean, you've got some samples you're going to have at ASD, and we will start posting then those pictures as soon as your next round of intellectual property is filed, so that you are patent pending on this newer version. But what is your ultimate goal, Terry? What do you want to do with this?
For my own choice, because I have had a business for a long time myself, I actually don't see myself doing the whole in-house distributor, making distributorship. I think mine would be licensing and projecting it out there. I do think, as I said, it's a simple fix. So I feel like getting to ASD and having just the choice made, there are not many variables, but I think that for me will be huge. And then however that takes off, I will learn as I go.
So, our listeners enjoy hearing, how did you come up with this? So what was going on? What made you think, I think I'll do this?
Literally sitting, I love football and sports, and I was watching a game, and a quarterback happened to take his helmet off and he put a baseball hat on. And I'm like, why does he have a baseball hat? He should have a football hat.
There you go. Well, and it's like, duh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no brainer.
Yeah, it's so funny, and so many times people will tell me and they'll share their stories, and you want to go, it's like, well, duh. So when we look at doing it better, it isn't unusual that somebody is trying to fix a car and they go, why isn't there something that will do this? And then they invent one. And the gentleman who did the flashlight that you wrap around a pole, you used to have to hold the flashlight in your mouth to use both hands. Now you don't. You can just use the one that wraps around a pole. It's so cool. Wish I would have thought of that one. So yeah, it's so much fun when we look at the way people come up with those ideas. And we're always looking then at the next step. So one of the things that we do, like for you, is say, all right, you pay attention to how it's made. You pay attention to the next steps in the manufacturing. The way it's made now is not the way it might be made in a year. So to keep your intellectual property alive and your product alive is you pay attention. And that's some of the stuff that we always look at, certainly on this show and talking about it. But everybody, if you know an inventor out there, if you've got a product yourself and you want to get it to market, give me a call. I'm there. You can join us at the Inventors Roundtable. We meet twice a month and the meetings are free. So all you have got to do is log in. So let me know, ask your questions. We are going to be right back after we go and pay some bills. So stick with us for another inventor coming up in just a couple of minutes. If you're an inventor or you know an inventor out there who would just like to be able to have a conversation with other inventors, join the Inventors Roundtable. It's free. The meetings are virtual, so you can be anywhere in America and talk to another inventor. And for a lot of folks out there, understanding the process, being able to ask questions, getting good service provider information is critical to the inventing process. So, got questions? Want to join? It's free. inventorsroundtable.org. And thank you so much for being with us for this segment of Invent America, because America invents. Been doing it for hundreds of years, and we will continue to do it for hundreds more. And it's everything from food products to kitchen gadgets to tools for your car, baby products, home health care, everything. We have inventors that do every facet of consumer buying. And this segment is brought to you by Wood and Wood. They are our trusted seamless gutter company specializing specifically in gutters. And if you've got a gutter that's got runoff, all right, Wood and Wood at weneedgutters.com. They're going to have your answer. You can do it yourself. I installed my own, so they are easy to install, and they are very nicely priced to consider saving all that water running on your head. So my guest right now is Carol Sprunk. All right, Carol, thank you so much for being with us. And I see that Sam is going to be joining us. There is Sam. Sam, thanks for joining us today. I've got Carol on this segment as well. And you have got a very cool pizza product. Tell I know your story because I've read it. But tell our listeners, how did you come up with this and what is it?
Well, first, thanks, Rita. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it. I'm Sam Spironi, the CEO and founder of Slice Away. So, a little bit about this product. It is a plastic pizza cutter. It's called Slice Away, fully disposable. Makes cutting, recutting pizza super easy, quick, mess-free. I got this idea back in college, real frustrated, like in my dorm. Ordered a pizza. It wasn't fully cut. I didn't have any utensils or anything with me in my room to get it done. So I was kind of just ripping it and making a mess, ruining the pizza, all of that stuff. So I came up with this sketch and I built prototypes along the way. And I needed it just something that could be there for in a home, at a party, pizza places, anywhere you just want convenience, easy cleanup, something like that. And that's where this came all about.
I don't think that there is a person out there that has not eaten pizza and not had a pizza pie destroyed because it wasn't cut right.
Exactly.
Been there, done that, and still end up doing that when we go and order a pizza. So there is not a solution out there. I am just, pleased as punch that you've got one. So yours could actually come with the pizza, right?
Yes, that is correct. So it's fully disposable. So it's kind of like a marketing tool for the bigger pizza places and even for homes as well. It comes in a 10-pack. So you can get it directly from my website as well. It's sliceawaycutter.com. Comes in 10-pack there. It's in a couple local stores in the Chicagoland area as well. So either way, you can get it that way. And then for marketing on the pizza, it'd come with my logo, potentially in the future. Hopefully we can get with their logo on there. And then it'll just come and you can dispose of it. If you don't want to use it, you can keep it. It'll have their phone number on it, all that good stuff.
So where can someone get it now?
Right now, it's readily available on my website. It's sliceawaycutter.com.
Sliceawaycutter.com. And we will post that on our site, everybody. So if you are looking to get one of these problem-solving pizza cutters, holy cow, you go and you get Cutaway, Slice Away, sorry about that, sliceaway.com. Because we've all been there. And when you pull it apart, the toppings come off. Well,
correct.
That's no fun.
Yep, no one wants that.
So what's your ultimate goal, Sam? Where do you want to get to with this?
I want to get it to everyone, make everyone's life easy. Of course, just make parties, you want to order the pizza when you're having, your kid's birthday party or a family dinner or Super Bowl Sunday. You don't want to be cleaning up afterwards. You want to just throw everything in the trash, or, you have your own pizza place and you want to start marketing. You want something easy. You don't want flyers. Everyone throws those away. You want something that someone can use and keep and say, hey, I love this product. I want it. It has their number on it. They can keep it a couple times and all that. That's where I want to go. I want to build partnerships, expand the distribution. Just convenience is the thing.
So how long have you been working on this, Sam?
So I first thought of the product in, 2018, 2019. So it's been a few years. Got my product pretty recently. Sales have been doing okay. So we're just trying to build off of that. We've been hitting social media hard in the last few months here. Got the website going here. Carol was a big help in that one. I got to give her some credit for that. She was been a big help with me working through that marketing wise. So that's where we're at right now.
All right. So I know that you're going to a big show in Las Vegas, a pizza show.
Correct. And I believe
There's a show
March.
for everything. I mean, I've, been to the National Asphalt Show, and who would have thought? But there is a show for everything. And, the inventors, I always tell inventors, go to shows that are professional as opposed to an inventor show, because in an inventor show, it's a feeding frenzy and the inventor is the main course. It doesn't matter how expensive the suit is, the shark will still eat you. So when you are going then to, is this the first one that you will have gone to?
Correct. Yes.
So up until now, it's been all social media that you've used to get the word
Yeah,
out there.
and some family friends and some relationships through other like family people and other friends as well. So stuff like that.
So what's your feedback been?
So everyone that I've talked to loves it. I've only heard good things. They want to see it in more stores. They want to be able to just buy it super easily on like Amazon. But of course, you got to get there. You got to build up to be able to get to the bigger levels, of course. So we're gonna get there eventually is the goal, but we got to start small.
All right. So, here's my question for you, Sam. You didn't always invent pizza cutters. What did you do in between? I have this idea in college to get your pizza cutter out there. People always tell me they've got to have a day job to provide, to pay for all of this.
So yeah, I went to school and then I graduated and got a job as a project engineer for a construction company.
All right. Very cool. And when you've got that problem solving mind, it allows you then to solve other problems and get your product into the marketplace.
Definitely
So,
helps.
yeah, no kidding. So are you doing this full time now, or are you still the project engineer?
Still a project engineer by the day, and then hopefully at some point this will be the full-time gig, but we're not there yet.
All right. All right. Well, we are looking forward to watching how you do and getting the word out there about, your steps, your process, what you've done, the product, and, helping you show off a little bit.
Thanks, Rita. I appreciate it.
And so, Carol, as we are going now into, another segment, but, you helped Sam. How long ago did you meet him?
Oh gosh, maybe close to 2 years now. I want to say, but probably between a year and 2 years ago.
So, how have you helped Sam?
Um, I met Sam through the supply chain company where he set up and got his prototype and got manufacturing, and I was working to help those brands with their branding efforts. It's one thing to have a great idea and bring a product to market, but the branding that you put behind it and the marketing that you do and your relationships that you build are all very important. So I've known Sam as he's been bringing it to life.
Well, that is a very good way of putting it. And, so as we look then, in the Invent America hour on the inventors that are early stage and the challenges you've had and, being able to share with the consumers, everybody wants disposable these days. So now that you've got a pizza slicer out there and the slice away, go and find the disposable pizza cutter. We've had, Sam, honestly, I've had, I think in the last 4 years, 3 or 4 of them that were not disposable, and they still should have been disposable because they broke.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to, having a slice away and seeing how you do with this. So we are going to be back in a moment with Carol. She's going to tell us more about how she got into this because she's got her own product out there. And if you know an inventor out there who is ready to show off, who needs to show off and tell their story, have them get in touch. We are taking 30 products to ASD Market Week, and we're going to help inventors show off and find buyers. But if you are just getting started and you want to know the steps, give me a call because I'm certainly happy to guide you. And when you're ready to do some sales, we're happy to send you off to Carol so she can help you out. Stick with us. We will be back after we go and pay some bills. Thank you so much for being with us for this segment of Invent America. And my guest for this segment, our industry expert, is Carol Sprunk. And Carol has got a product of her own that she sells. But more importantly, she helps people tell their story. And, you can go out there to show off at a trade show, but if you don't have the lines down and you haven't practiced them in front of the mirror, you lose the audience real fast. Right, Carol?
Yes, you do. Thanks for having me, Rita.
It's a pleasure. So how do you go about learning about someone like a Sam and then helping him focus his message?
Well, really it's about figuring out what their goals are, what the product is, and who's the audience for that product. And really that's through a lot of market research and getting it in front of as many eyeballs as you can.
So we always look at, the first thing you do, or at least one of the first things you do, is get out to a professional trade show. So when you're standing there for 3 days and you're talking to all these professionals that walk by and you're seeing their eye-to-eye contact, their reaction to your product, that is so valuable because now the inventor is there. They're getting their own information. And sometimes that feedback is just so valuable. It's like when they look at you and they've got kind of a weird face and it's like, your message wasn't very clear.
Right. Right. No, and I would like to think of it like almost your product in and out and up and down and everything about it. You are the one that's passionate about it, but you need to be able to convey that in a very short period of time, in as few words as possible.
Yeah. And we talk about the elevator pitch. I am not kidding. Sometimes your pitch needs to be faster than the elevator.
Yes. Yes, it does. You want to be different and you want to be engaging, and people can tell the difference when you're working a booth, people that are just going to walk by, or how to grab attention authentically.
Sometimes it's the demo that does it. Back in the day, I used to sell an embalming product, not necessarily something you want to talk about every day, but this was so cool. And I didn't need to, nobody believed me. If I would tell them about it, I'm going to stop it. It would take me 10 seconds to show them. And it's like, how fast can we get this? And how much is it? Because it was the demo that did everything.
Yep. Yes. For my brand is a barrel aged coffee. So people who drink coffee know what coffee is. And so when you're walking past and you see somebody serving coffee samples, to grab their attention, my pitch was always, would you like to sample barrel aged coffee?
There you go.
You just like with one question, not even, do you want to try this new coffee? Nobody, like, you have to have the keywords there to grab attention, I think.
Yeah, I think, keywords, the aroma. I would imagine that the aroma was just enough to, get their attention.
Yes. Yep. I was known for opening the percolators to let the smell go out.
There you go. You've got to do what it takes, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And different products, different industries.
Correct. And when you're a smaller brand and you're just starting out, you have almost no budget for mass marketing. So you need to find unique ways to get it in front of people, and to get it sampled out, to get feedback, because the words that your audience uses to describe your product are keywords that you can use in your own marketing and messaging. I still to this day remember a woman calling me, asking me where she could find more indulgent coffee like that. And I was like, that is such a good word, indulgent. Like, you deserve to indulge. And it just changes the whole mindset. So, listen to that early feedback early on from your customers.
So how do you help a customer?
So I help customers. So outside of the coffee brand that I've had for the last 8 years, I have owned and produced print magazines here in Nebraska. I've been a publisher of a lifestyle magazine for the last 9 years. I've actually just got acquired by a larger brand here in Omaha. But I've been in storytelling and branding for over, a decade now. And so that's really where it starts. That's the difference between successful products is the story that gets told, the marketing efforts behind it all. Yes, that's very much the angle there.
So I always tell inventors, it's like, you've got to be very smart with your words,
Mm-hmm.
and, they've got to be very precise. So
Yeah.
when I say start with, get a bottle of wine and sit a bunch of people, your friends down around the table and say, what would you Google to find this? And have some fun with it. And then those are some of the words that you start to use and have them, get out there. Because if someone's looking, we had a guy that did a product that was, that he wanted to call it Door Dog, and it was how to hang a door. And I said, what would someone Google to find you? They would Google how to hang a door. And I said, okay, there's your byline, howtohangadoor.com. And by golly, he went from being on page 50 to on page 1 because everybody was Googling doggy doors, and you'd get, 1 million doggy door hits instead of how to hang a door. And so, you got to be smart with your words. Carol, I want to thank you for being on with us today. I know that we will have you on again because this is a big deal for inventors. They don't have, you're right, by the time they get this far, a lot of times they're broke.
Right.
And the few dollars that they have left, we have got to be really smart with those.
Yes, you do. And to figure out, I mean, there's a lot of ways to spend it. So early on, it really matters.
Yeah. When I get inventors that have made mistakes early on, it's like, hang on to every dollar. And one of our taglines was, don't spend a dime before it's time.
No.
When it's time, step up to the plate, because it is going to cost you money. Nothing is for free, right?
Yep. Nope, that makes a lot of sense.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. We will be back next week with more stories on getting products from mind to market. We will have new inventors and industry experts. So join us and have a wonderful week.